Hola amigos, buenas tardes, ¿qué pasa? ¿Cómo vamos? ¿Cómo están? Hoy es jueves el 30 de abril y hoy hace mucho viento y llueve. Estamos haciendo un repaso del capítulo 3A. Y en el capítulo 3A, ¿qué hicimos? What did we do? Ok, hablando de vocabulario, comida y bebidas, food and beverage, desayuno y almuerzo. We're talking lunch, we're talking breakfast. So there are some expressions of frequency like siempre, always, and nunca, never. But definitely the big takeaway here, besides all of this new vocabulary, is going to be the grammar, the conjugation of present tense er and ir verbs, and we have been over that as well a fair amount. Lastly, the difference between liking and loving something when it comes to things that we eat or do. Me gustan, me encantan. These two different phrases for expressing that. All right, so let's get into the vocabulary then, and just kind of review the food terms that we've learned. So I'm on page 124 of the textbook, and we're talking desayuno, breakfast foods. And as I read them out, I'm also going to give you let's practice some numbers. The price, if you recall, in this section, this is a supermarket circular, and so we can do some numbers too. Practice that. So, upper left, las salchichas, $2.29. Dollars and cents. Dólares, centavos. So, salchichas, 2.29. El tocino, 2.45. El jamón, 2.35. El cereal, 3.59. Down in the lower left, el queso, 3.25. El yogur de fresa, 79 centavos. Los huevos, $1.29. Y los plátanos, which are actually really bananas, 69 centavos. Now, last lesson I talked a little bit about nouns modifying nouns using the word de, and you can see here we have yogur, yogur de fresa, and so we have the noun strawberry modifying the noun yogurt, yogur de fresa. Okay, so looking at the next section of vocab. So upper left we have el jugo de manzana, and here again with the juices we're going to have a noun modifying a noun. Jugo is going to be modified by manzana. We have the juice. What kind of juice is it? The juice of apple or the apple juice. So el jugo de manzana, 1.80, $1.80. El jugo de naranja, 2.50. La limonada, 1.39. La leche, 1.75. In the lower left, we have el té, 2.40. El pan, 1.89. Las galletas, 2.29. Y el agua, $1.09. All right, let's head over to the other side of the page there and take a look at the rest of the vocab. La ensalada de frutas, $3.25. El sándwich de jamón y queso, $3.50. La hamburguesa, $3.75. La pizza, $1.75. Y el café, $1. ¿Qué te gusta más, la ensalada de frutas o la pizza? ¿Cuál prefieres? ¿El sándwich de jamón y queso o la hamburguesa? All right, let's take a look at the bottom half. El perrito caliente, 1.50, $1.50. Now, as I've said several times, and I must clarify every single time, nobody on earth calls it a perrito caliente. It's a perro caliente, just like in English, it's a hot dog. Moving down, las papas fritas, $1.25. La sopa de verduras, $1.80. Notice again, sopa de verduras, noun modifying a noun. Verduras, vegetables, modifying soup. Upper right hand corner, los refrescos. Some places will also call this gaseosa. $1. Los jugos, hay jugo de manzana y jugo de naranja, $1.35. Y finalmente el té helado, $1. Okay, so back on page 124, we have La Chica, y está hablando de el desayuno. El desayuno es mi comida favorita. En el desayuno yo como cereal con leche, tocino y pan tostado. Todos los días bebo jugo de naranja. Nunca bebo té sin leche. ¿Y tú qué comes en el desayuno? So, just some things to remind you of. Remember that anytime the textbook highlights vocabulary or terms in tan or beige there, that color, you know that's something important that you have to learn. That's a new phrase. Of course, el desayuno, breakfast, comida is a meal. En el desayuno, at breakfast, yo como. Como is comer. It's an ER verb that we are conjugating to the yo form. I eat cereal. Yo como cereal con leche, tocino y pan tostado, toasted bread. Todos los días. So talking again about expressions of frequency. We've got two here in this section. First one is todos, every day, or todos los días is every day. Todos, every. Todos los días bebo jugo de naranja. Every day I drink orange juice. Another expression of frequency. Nunca. Nunca bebo té sin leche. Nunca means never. I never drink tea without milk. ¿Y tú qué comes en el desayuno? Again, yo como, the verb comer, conjugated to the yo form, and comer conjugated to the tu form, ¿qué comes? Okay, looking on page 125, me encanta el restaurante de la plaza. La comida es muy buena. En el almuerzo como una ensalada de frutas o un sándwich de jamón y queso. Siempre bebo agua. Es importante beber mucha agua, ¿verdad? So up top we have the phrase me encanta, and this is the phrase that we are using to say I love, when you love something like food or an activity or even things like a program or a song, any kind of thing like that. That's not real love. We use the word me encanta. Me encanta el restaurante de la plaza. I love the restaurant in the market. En el almuerzo, the phrase for at lunchtime. And here again we have another phrase to indicate frequency. And you can use it for anything that you always do. Siempre me levanto a las 8. I always get up at 8. Siempre hago mi tarea. I always do my homework. Perhaps you might be familiar with the Latin phrase, the motto for the U.S. Marine Corps is Semper Fidelis. Of course, semper is the Latin term for always, and that is where this word comes from. Siempre bebo agua. Es importante beber mucha agua, ¿verdad? And so comer, in the last page we're talking about comer, and on this page we're talking about beber, which is the verb, the ER verb for um, drinking. And verdad, which means correct or true. It's a way to sort of end a sentence. It's important to drink a lot of water, right? And so for the word verdad, you want to think of the word verify or to ascertain its truth. And so verdad means truth. So if you want to read up a little bit more, study more about the use of me gustan and me encantan, you can find that information on page 135. And if you want to take a look at the infographic that gives you more information about using a noun to modify another noun, you can find that information on page 130. So, like I said at the beginning of the lesson here, the lesson review, definitely the big takeaway from this chapter is conjugating regular ER and IR verbs. And we are building on our knowledge of conjugating regular AR verbs, which we learned last year. So let's take a minute then and review really what is a regular verb. Regular verbs follow a set pattern for every verb that ends with that infinitive. And once you learn that set pattern, you can apply it to every regular verb that ends with that infinitive. So AR verbs, ER verbs, IR verbs. Here you'll notice the patterns for the two AR verbs hablar and tomar. And most verbs in Spanish are regular verbs. So this pattern can take you a long way once you learn it. Looking at the ER verb pattern then, it will be the same for all regular ER verbs. To conjugate, you remove the ER ending and add the appropriate ending based on the subject pronoun. Of course, our subject pronouns, yo, myself, tú, you familiar, él, ella, usted, he, she, you formal, nosotros, we or us, nosotros form, which is the you plural familiar, which is only used in Spain, and ellos, ellas, ustedes, they or them, masculine and feminine, ellos and ellas, and ustedes is you formal plural. So here's your chart then for the verb comer, which of course means to eat. Yo como, tú comes, él, ella, usted come, nosotros comemos, vosotros coméis, ellos, ellas, ustedes comen. And the pattern is repeated in its own way for IR verbs. Here you have the chart for the IR verb vivir, which means to live. Yo vivo, notice the form doesn't change. It takes the same O. Tú vives, again, same form, ES. For él, ella, usted, it turns to vive. Nosotros vivimos. Vosotros vivís. And ellos, ellas, ustedes viven. So you can look at the infographic in the book if you like on page 132 and read more about it. And let's take a look at the last little bit of vocab. El desayuno, el cereal, los huevos, el pan, pan tostado, plátano. Of course, remember a plátano is a specific thing. A plantain, we're looking for the word banano here when we're talking about bananas. La salchicha, el tocino, el yogurt. Okay, So we got a lot of lunch to talk about. El almuerzo, when we want to say at lunch or for lunch. La ensalada, ensalada de frutas. Any kind of salad, we're going to add another noun to modify it. Las fresas, las galletas. La hamburguesa, el jamón, la manzana, la naranja, las papas fritas. El perro caliente. I know it says el perrito caliente. Don't say that. Somebody will laugh at you. El perro caliente. La pizza. El queso. El sándwich de. And we are modifying it here with ham and cheese, but modify that with anything you like. Pavo y queso, turkey and cheese, or just queso. El sándwich de whatever. And last but not least, another modified noun, sopa, modified by verduras, which means vegetable. La sopa de verdura, vegetable soup. Beverages, el agua, el café, el jugo de manzana, el jugo de naranja. More modified nouns, apple, modifying juice, orange, modifying juice. La leche, la limonada. El refresco, sometimes referred to as gaseosa as well. El té y el té helado. All right, there it is, your chapter 3A. That pretty much reviews everything that we talked about. We'll look to taking some sort of an assessment on this and wrapping up this chapter. We can possibly get into a little bit of 3B then before we finish out the year. All right, friends, have a great afternoon. Thank you so much for joining me today, and we'll see you next time. Adios, amigos. Que estén bien.